in other news, Norm Macdonald. We haven't seen or talked about Norm Macdonald that much in a long time, dude. It's been a long time since Norm Macdonald's been brought up here on the channel. And if you guys haven't heard, he is filming a new special. This could be a fun video to watch. The very best of Norm Macdonald and David Letterman. I was watching his appearances on David Letterman just a little bit ago.
Now, Norm, I remember years ago you told me that you were there for the birth of your son, and I always remember this. And you said that was the most exciting thing you had ever participated in. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Yes. And then what happened?
I took crystal meth. I met in the airport. I met Matlock.
Oh, Matlock is Andy Griffin.
Yeah, Andy. He used to call himself Andy Griffin. Now he goes by Ben Matlock.
He really calls himself Ben Matlock.
But yeah, I went into the airport and he was in there, and you know the bookstores they have in the airports?
Yeah, sure.
So he's in there. He's reading one of them big thick books. You know, smart guy. You know. So I'm standing over there. I'm leafing through a Jughead comic. I see him over there. So I think to myself, I say, hey, I'm going to sidle up beside old Ben Matlock.
Yeah.
And I'm going to grab one of them big books myself. He didn't have to know nothing.
Sure.
Pretty soon we get in a conversation. We start talking, and I find out how he ever solved that case where Claude Akins killed. You remember, anyways. Whatever. I wanted to talk to him.
Right.
So take 10 minutes. I'm talking to him. He's very friendly, very outgoing, and everything like that. And it was really nice.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden I realized it wasn't Ben Matlock at all.
Really? It's not Andy Griffith?
Yeah, just some old man. And now, don't you think that this guy has a moral, responsibility to tell people instantly that he's not Matlock?
I don't know. That's a good question. I never thought of that.
Gosh, man.
Fired.
Dude, I've never watched that appearance, man. His way to use like pauses, well-timed pauses and everything. It's so brilliant, man.
Yes. No, they didn't fire you.
No, I'm serious. I'm tired.
Everyone on the chat, what's up, everybody? If I'm ignoring you, well, I am. I'm watching Norm a little bit. I'll get to the chat in a second here.
I talked to a guy that said I'm fired.
Fired from your television job?
From on the weekend. I do the news segment.
Yeah, the weekend update.
We watched this on the channel before.
Sometimes, many times, the best part of the show.
Yeah. It's all a matter of opinion. That's your opinion.
Ben Man in the house. What's up, Ben Man?
But then the guys that can fire me,
Good to see you, dude.
Now, why would they fire you?
Well,
who fired you? Let's get some names here. Let's get this on the record.
Well, I don't know the guys, because the guys I work with, like Lorne Michaels and stuff.
Did Lorne Michaels fire you?
No, he didn't. He didn't fire me.
Right.
He likes me and stuff.
Well, it's his show, isn't it?
I thought it was his show, yeah. But
well, then how can a guy come in from the outside and fire you? Somebody from ABC fired you?
No. They're NBC. What happens is, you work on the show, and then there's these guys that hang out, like in the halls.
Yeah, we got them here. We got them here.
And they're called executives. They're NBC executives, right? And then I'd see them. I didn't know who the hell they were, what they did, Now I know what they do. They fire me from Weekend Update. But they said that this guy, Don Ohlmeyer, turns out to be the president.
Yeah, now I know Don Ohlmeyer, and just between you and me, he's an idiot.
Oh.
There you go. Dude, the highlights of him on Weekend Update are some of the best.
I wouldn't take it seriously. If this guy fired you, you may still have a job. You never know. I'd wait for some paperwork.
You still watch it.
I phoned him,
Oh, you had to phone in to pick up your messages from that. Oh man.
Yeah. So I said, hey, you don't know what to say. You're like, hey, how's it going there? You're trying to talk about something else.
Yeah.
Did you have a turkey there for the thing or whatever? I don't know. And then so he goes. Oh yeah, I'm firing you there from the show. And then I said, oh, that's not good. And then I said, why is that now? And he goes, oh, you're not funny.
Yeah.
And then I said, oh Lord, that's even worse news, He goes, no, I don't got nothing to fall back on.
I've watched this before, maybe a couple of times now, and it's
he just fired
still
you.
hilarious, dude.
What is wrong with you? You quisling? Stop that.
I don't know what quisling means, but
So anyway, when you're in Las Vegas.
Las Vegas, the oddest slogan I've ever heard. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, they say. Of course, it's not true. You can't kill a person and leave. They'll follow you across state lines and bring you back, and you'll face a jury of your peers. So I said, what does that mean? What does it mean? Like, what are they getting at, you know?
Dude, I'm so happy, like, that this video popped up. I I haven't watched these. This is great.
I started ruminating about it. I whittled. I started whittling.
Oh, you whittle?
Yeah, when I ruminate, I whittle.
Whittle and ruminate.
Yeah, whittle.
Hand in hand.
And I said, what does that actually mean? What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas? And it came to me in a sudden. What it means is you can have sex with a prostitute in Las Vegas and she will not tell your wife. They're very discreet.
That's exactly what it means, bro. What's funny, as we're gonna put this video up on YouTube, actually, there's folks in the chat right now who are letting us know that they're in Vegas. So now we know. Now we know what you're up to.
In Vegas, they're
exactly
not like these gossipy
man.
small town whores. These blabbermouths down at the beauty parlor with that pale blue thing over their head, whatever that is, go, you're Hank Johnson's husband? By God, I had sex in exchange for cash last night with a small world.
Well, how has it been since then?
Well, it's been weird, you know, like,
oh, man.
It's been weird.
You were just fired, as it turned out, right?
Yeah, I got fired.
Right.
And then when I was talking to you on the show that day, because this guy, Don Ohlmeyer, fired me, and I didn't know the guy, you know, and you kept saying, like, he's an idiot, he's a pinhead, you know, and stuff like that. And I would say, like, he's a good guy,
say that?
you know. And
Pinhead?
Turns out you're right. When the kid's young, as Dylan was, I used to play basketball with him, and I would always let him win because I figured that was the thing to do as a father. Now he's 16 years old, and he can beat me easily. Oh. Now he thinks that he's always been able to beat me. I told him, I said, no, I used to let you win. He's like, no. So my advice is beat the hell out of Harry.
While I can.
While you can.
Yeah. Not sure that I can even now.
Put them in their place. Yeah, my wife Allie gets like mad at me when I'm like destroying out like my little girls in like whatever game we're playing, and it's like I'm not gonna pretend to be stupid just so that they can win as a kid. Crazy?
You did some traveling, I guess, since we last saw you. Were in.
Yeah, I did. I'd never been overseas, and I went to Amsterdam. My dad was in World War II. He was a lot older than I. Well, obviously, he was older than I was. He had me when he was an older fella, and he served in World War II, and he liberated Holland, you know, from the icy grip of that dork Hitler, you know. Yeah. So, and, you know, with Hitler, the more I learn about that guy, the more I don't care for him.
I've heard him say something. Is this the one I've seen before of him? I've heard him say that before, and that's such a good joke, dude. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Hitler either, man. Not really a fan of his, Stalin. Ooh, that might actually get interesting here in the chat. We might have some Stalin fans in here. I seen you guys on the comment section. It's all good. Oh, well, nah. Oh, that's hilarious. Such a good joke.
I can't. Yeah. And there's nothing redeeming about the guy. I tell the guys, I go, how on earth could these Germans like follow this lunatic, you know? And they're like, oh, he was an incredible public speaker, you know? He could hypnotize you with his public speaking. And then I see him, he's like, and I go, what? That's not my idea of a silver-tongued devil, you know?
Don Ohlmeyer didn't think you were funny.
Exactly.
Right now,
dude, so they talked about him as being fired quite a bit. In case you're watching the channel and for some reason you're not a Norm Macdonald fan, Norm Macdonald was fired. The main theory is, and the winning theory, and the clearest theory, it's he was making a lot of jokes about O.J. Simpson during the O.J. Simpson trial, and they kept telling him to stop, and he wouldn't. That's like a very simplified version of it. And he just kept going at O.J. Simpson during the trial, making it very clear that he definitely killed his wife, right? Slew his wife. So that's why. Okay, in case you didn't know that.
In your assessment
Everyone
of him
in
in
the
this
chat,
meeting,
that's why.
is he a funny guy?
Well, it's not his job. His job is picking up them monograms.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
he's one of these guys, he fancies himself creative, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, I suppose. I
Yeah.
mean,
Well, you know, I worked for Don Ohlmeyer when I was at NBC for years
did?
and years and years, and
Yeah.
I know the guy.
Yeah.
And here's a guy who could not create gas after a bean dinner.
Nice. I've never heard that. That's pretty
Now,
funny.
I will tell you what's cool about the internet and being an internet sensation and stuff. On the YouTube now, everybody...
Well, on the
you know,
YouTube.
I don't know if you remember but there's famous... and did you ever hear the Andy Williams quote? In the future, everybody will be famous for 25 minutes?
Yes, I think it was Andy
So-
Warhol.
Huh?
Andy Williams was Moon River.
Oh.
Andy,
Well,
it's a
whatever.
generational
Whatever.
thing. Yeah, okay.
I don't even know who Andy Warhol is. Wait, who's that?
But here's the thing.
Andy Warhol was an American artist, film director, and producer who was a leading figure in the visual art movement known as pop art. Okay.
Like, for instance,
Dude, he is a
have you ever heard of
sketchy-looking
Harrison
guy.
Schmidt?
Holy frick. No.
Okay. He walked on the moon.
I didn't know that.
Right. An astronaut.
Right.
A guy who walked on the moon. There's very few people that have been in the position to go, hey, where's the moon? There it is.
Right. Well, you're right. That's a good point.
Right. Now, so 12 people have landed on the moon. Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin. Who else?
Right.
So this Harrison Schmidt fellow must be going, what the hell do I have to do to get famous?
Yeah.
Right? Meanwhile, the Kardashians, we know Chloe, we know...
It's awful.
Yeah, Lois.
Lois Kardashian.
All
No longer the.
Comment down below. Because let me know in the chat. Are you guys watching the new Kardashian show on Hulu? Because you better believe that we are. Ali loves it. Do you guys remember, if you've ever watched I Love You, Man, that movie? It was one of my favorite movies ever. When, what's his face? When he finally watches Chocolat, and he's like, stupid. Because he's like liking it. One, that's how I felt last night when we watched the new Downton Abbey movie. Downton Abbey's freaking gangster as I'll get out. But it's also how I feel when I watch the Kardashians. Like, it's stupid. But I need to know if Scott... Like, I need to know how Scott's doing, bro. I've grown to care for the guy.
The Norm show, it's not just Norm. Did we cover that before?
Yeah,
It's
no,
Norm,
yeah,
right?
They changed it to Norm, yeah.
Wait, it's not the Norm show.
No,
What happened there?
I don't know. They figured that would rev things up.
Oh, yeah, I think so.
No, you know, they take out the. It's like for love of game, that movie. Love game. They took, the actual expression is for the love of the game.
Right.
They took the thes out to speed things up. You didn't know that story?
Yeah, oh, yeah, I knew that
Yeah.
story. Oh, it's a great story.
You hate me now because of the stuff about your testicles.
Norm,
I love you. You're my favorite
I
guy.
couldn't be more flattered when guests come on the show and discuss my testicles. It's one of my favorite.
I want everyone at home to know that I am getting lit up on the chat right now about admitting that I have to join my wife watching the Kardashians.
thing. It's certainly not discussed at home.
Appreciate.
I'll be great now. I'll be a good man next time. I always like to show you the respect. You're my favorite guy.
Yeah, what the hell happened with the suit to show me the respect? You moron! What are you trying to pull here?
I thought this was interesting. You know who
so much,
directed the
dude.
movie? Of course you know. You were in the film. Bob TV blooper Bob Saget.
Bob Saget.
TV blooper Saget.
Also,
yeah,
rest in peace.
Yeah. Now,
Jeez.
can he direct?
What
No,
a
not
weird
at all.
year for comedians, man.
Was it just a lot of people getting hit with a rake and stuff? Just bang,
No, he
people
was-
falling down at weddings and that kind of thing?
It was very comfortable with him as a director, though, because like he would.
Sorry, I'm pausing Norm because people in the chat that these things need to be addressed. Am I getting hate for the Kardashian thing or for the Downton Abbey thing? Because Downton Abbey's gangster as, right?
Would give me like acting notes. He'd go, "I think you should do it this way," and then I go, "I've seen you on that Full House. What are you talking
Was
about?"
Saget killed? Conspiracy? That's fun.
You ever dial up any of the? You can get like first-run features on.
Yeah. I ordered Pulp Fiction. You know that movie?
Oh, sure.
Great
it's
movie.
a gritty urban satire. You know. It said that on the little thing. I wouldn't have known. And so I said, yeah, I'll get Pulp Fiction. I heard great things about that. So I order it, right? And they send me a different movie,
like
a movie called by the name of Pump Friction.
I never heard of that.
You never heard of that movie?
No, what is it?
Well, it's different than Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, a little
Pulp
bit.
Fiction is a gritty urban satire. Pump Friction is a bunch of dudes and ladies having dirty sex.
Whoa!
And you know.
So there's a mix-up, obviously.
Yeah. And it wasn't a bad movie, you know.
Oh man, he's just so good.
It was actually with those dirty movies, I find like they're good for about 15, 20 minutes. I'm really interested.
Right.
And then there's one point that all of a sudden I'm bored. You know, I can't.
NBC Dirty Work nixes Norm. What exactly are we talking about there?
Yeah, that's Don Ohlmeyer has decided not to run
This is Don Ohlmeyer right here. This is the guy who runs NBC.
Oh my
Don
gosh.
Ohlmeyer right there. Hi, girls, would you mind coming up to the suite to audition?
That's hilarious, dude.
That's Don right there.
Yeah, that's the guy.
Here you go. Oh, sure, Don always gets a suite.
Dude, I love how much they talk
So
about
Don
the guy.
has decided not to run any ads for my movie on his network.
Now,
NBC.
I have the movie purchased and everything ready to watch. Yeah, I need to. Yeah, we need to watch
What
it.
is it? What is? You know, NBC, now Norm, let's just do the math on this a little bit. NBC is owned by General Electric, maybe the single biggest global corporate entity on the globe.
Yes.
And they're generating, GE and NBC generating, you know, several $billions a year.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What the hell could they possibly care about you and your movie? What is going on?
I don't understand it at all.
Did you do something to this guy? Did you bust into his house or something?
No, I didn't do it. I don't understand, first of all. Yeah, because I get kind of depressed sometimes because this guy, he's best friends with O.J. Simpson.
Right.
Right?
Okay, here we go. He's going to explain
that's
it.
fine.
Is that true? Are they best friends?
Yes, they're best friends.
They hang out. This guy and O.J., they play golf.
Yes. Now,
He wasn't in jail by this
how
time?
can he not like me?
Yeah. Yeah, girls, just go on out and read the lines and we'll see how it goes. Yeah, I'll give you a call.
Oh, that's so good, dude.
So the deal is they won't advertise your movie on NBC?
They won't advertise my movie on NBC, and then just before I came to the show, they tell me they have canceled all these interviews I had with any NBC affiliate.
What the
Don
heck?
Ohlmeyer actually phoned NBC affiliates, you know, these little stations.
That's great.
I didn't
know
He's got
it went
nothing
like
better
this.
to do. Yeah. He doesn't have to kiss up to Seinfeld now, so that freed up his whole day. He doesn't have to kiss his ass anymore. Because you work with big stars. Like I know you've worked with Bill Cosby.
Oh yeah, Bill Cosby, man. He's my favorite guy ever since I was young, and I got to open
boy.
for him at this comedy thing, and he was the greatest. I got to meet him and stuff.
Dude, it's
and you know
so
when you meet these guys,
strange.
it's so like, you know, you're.
It's so strange hearing people talk about Bill Cosby when we didn't know he was just banging all these people who were drugged up, right? Like how unbelievable. I remember. All right, so me and my brothers used to have like this thing. We had every Chicago Bulls championship movie documentary, like after each year that they won it, right? So there was like Unstoppables, Unforgettables, right? And I think it was that the last one, Unforgettables, for their 6th championship. There's a little clip there where they're interviewing one of the players, and one of the players on the New Jersey Nets, after they were defeated in the playoffs, mentioned how Michael Jordan was one of the people he admired the most, besides his father and Bill Cosby. I just rewatched this a little bit ago, and it's just like, dude, unbelievable. It actually hasn't hit me until this moment, like how weird that is.
Shock or something, you know, because you can't believe you're talking to this guy. And so I told him, I
drugs,
said,
bro.
you know,
It was
he's
drug
always
in your
funny.
drink.
He has that funny way of talking. So I go, hey, hi, nice to meet you, Mr. Cosby. And he goes like, yes, yes, you know.
Yeah.
And then you just laugh, you know. And then So I go, oh man, I go, you're my favorite, you know, and ever since I was a little kid, I always listened to you. You're my dad's favorite comedian ever, you know, and he goes,
I'm sorry to interrupt this amazing story. Someone in the chat just said a great, this is actually pretty good, worth sharing. Back in the day, TV stations were the censors, and now we're our own censors.
He goes, now where is your dad from?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
All right.
That's pretty good.
Maybe I'll do him this week on the show. So I tell Cosby, you know, I say, oh, my dad's from Ottawa. So he turns to his buddy Ben as his manager or something, and he goes,
I
Ben,
think I've heard this story.
we aren't the Ottawa, you know? And Ben goes, yes, we are playing Ottawa soon. Ben understands everything Cosby says. And he goes, yes, Mr. Cosby, we do have a gig in Ottawa and coming up. And he goes, what is your father, give me a paper. So he gets a paper and he goes, here, now, write your father's name on the paper. Well, everything's funny as that. If I said that, hey, write your father's name on the paper.
Yeah, no, it's not, no.
Ironic that Norm is saying that because it's the same thing.
And the pen.
Everything Norm says is funny.
The man needs the pen. You know? So I get the pen and the paper, you know. So I'm writing down my father's thing, and then all of a sudden I realize that my father's dead.
What are the best, like, what are just the best way to say?
I really appreciate you coming.
Oh, they didn't finish the story. For those watching home, in case you didn't know this story, for everyone in chat, in case you didn't know this story, man, this is fun. So like, I've become like, I feel like I know Norm trivia. He has to like keep playing the lie for a long time. That's why we don't lie, dude. It's so hard to defend those things.
Going on here tonight, I don't know if you've heard, but I'm not going to be around much longer.
Yes, I know, and I understand there's only 12 shows left, and this may be my last appearance.
Well, I hope not, but...
Did David Letterman do anything when Norm passed? Did he like send out say anything?
So I was going to ask for a souvenir.
You know, you're the first person to bring this up, and I'm touched. And I want to say to you, Norm, as a friend and as somebody I have admired your entire career, whatever you want is yours. Except, Todd, you're not giving up the sweatshirt, are you? Anything you want.
Okay, excellent. Well, maybe, I know.
What? No, wait a minute. That's, Norm, those are expensive. That's, can you... Be careful. Oh, my God. Norm, look out.
What's his
It's fine. That's fine. It's still under warranty. Okay, we'll be right back with Norm Macdonald, ladies and gentlemen. Norm Macdonald, man. One of the funniest people to ever live, with a new special coming out May 30. So not this Monday, but the next. That's what I'm talking about.